Alright, so I'm like recording my split reaction into this just very briefly. So I'm like 5 minutes into episode 7 of season 1 of Ninja Turtles called Monkey Brains, and I'm at the part where like April finds out that another scientist is been kidnapped, and Donnie's now fighting the guy at the golf club, and yeah, Dr. Falco, that's his name. And then Donnie's like, oh, let's just me and April, and basically leaves the other guys behind him. It's like this weird crush that Donnie has on April. Again, just call me a cynical zoo employee, but it's just weirding me out because he's a turtle, he's reptilian. What is so alluring about a mammalian human woman? Turtles and humans have way different mating rituals than we're just, our love lives are not the same at all. So I really don't. I get it. It's just a cartoon. I shouldn't be taking it so seriously. But Donnie's weird crush on April O'Neil's creep me out. Also, viewers, by the way, this is what I do in Spooktober while watching cartoons or YouTube videos. I'm trying to get in the habit of not scrolling through YouTube so brainlessly every day when I'm home from work or on my days off. So I try to have something else going on, playing Minecraft while watching YouTube videos or listening to audiobooks or whatever, or doing colorings, like my coloring book right here. My Spooktober ritual is coloring in coloring books. The last coloring book I had was mythology themed. This one is all a Brothers Grimm theme. I just got it, so I think it's pretty fitting. Anyways, I know this is a little unconventional for me to do in these Turtle Tuesday episodes. I'm 16 minutes into episode 7 of the Monkey Man episode, and I felt bad for Donnie when the other turtles were laughing at him for being beaten up by a monkey in front of April. And I really like how just like in the last episode, I'm noticing a recurring theme is Donnie's intelligence being simultaneously a strength and a weakness, because he thinks way too much before striking at the monkey, and therefore the monkey gets the first strike on him, right? And Splinter helps him understand you gotta stop thinking when you fight, because Mikey doesn't think at all, but at what cost? Again, Mikey's not perfect either, which again, I don't want to keep harping on the last Ronin, I've talked about in my birthday present for Daily Reacts back in June. But I think once again, Mikey being arguably the least intelligent out of all turtles, becoming the last Ronin was just genius on the writer's part in that graphic novel. I can't wait for the film adaptation of it. But yeah, they find out that the Monkey Man is Dr. Rockwell, and he's being basically possessed by the evil scientist guy. It also reminds me of King Kong, how in his monkey form he's shy and more trusting of April, while the turtles just want to take him down, just like how Carl Denham wants to capture Kong with the other sailors, while Andaro is the only one that understands Kong. It's having those illusions. I approve. Alright, so I just got done watching episode 7 and 8 of the season 1 of 2012 Ninja Turtles, and I like how episode 7 ends with Splinter wanting to train April to be a female ninja, which is yes, we're seeing some some character growth where it's there's never going to be a 5th turtle, excluding the graphic novel that I plan on reading and reviewing. But, that doesn't mean that April still can't be a ninja. Yeah, she's not a teenage mutant ninja turtle, but she's still a teenager, and she can be at least half of those things, right? Or I guess, her daughter becomes a mutant in some of the comics, but whatever. Yeah, really great 2 episodes, and I realized in the last episode I mispronounced Xever's name. I was pronouncing him Xavier, the actual name, but no, never say Xever. That's episode 8's name, and so I want to apologize for that. But yeah, Xever and Chris Bradford, I like how when these two characters are introduced to each other, it's it's already the impression they don't need to like each other, but they have to work together. However, the two guys just butting heads all the time kind of hits its boiling point nearing the end of this episode when they capture the blind chef from the noodle restaurant and they tie him up, and then the turtles then kidnap Chris Bradford and they tie him up as an offering. It's oh, you're our friend for yours, and Xever's oh, he's not my friend. Oh, he's just a coworker. Which it's always so interesting seeing, like, coworkers, you know, sometimes I feel like, you know, just from my, like, experience, you know, working in different workplaces and, you know, moving on with my adult life, it's interesting seeing, like, coworkers that just don't get along, or roommates that don't get along, or, like, classmates that just don't get along, you know, going throughout college and, you know, life and stuff like that. So it's like, it can really make or break a workplace environment when coworkers are just butting heads all the time. Like, I can't stand that. I get along with everybody, but unfortunately, that's not the case for some people. But it does make a really interesting villainous dynamic, because that's what kind of leads to their downfall at the end of this episode. Because the theme of the episode is, like, you know, mercy over wrath, where, like, Leo spares the purple dragon dude who attacked the blind chef's restaurant, and Raph is really pissed at him over it, being like, oh, you should have just, like, pummeled him right there and then. Why didn't you do so? But then that guy who Leo spared ends up returning the favor by tossing Leo his sword so he can, you know, knock down the water silo and wipe out all the bad guys out the building and rescue the blind chef just in time. And also, I love how they will go to a noodle restaurant. I was thinking, oh, they're gonna eat noodles for once, not pizza. And then as soon as I saw that, I ran downstairs, made myself a noodle bowl, and I ate it while watching this episode. But then, like, as soon as I resumed, I was like, oh wait, they're mixing pizza in with the oh shoot, what's it called? Hang on, I'm just looking it up really fast. I got my laptop right here. Gubby, TMNT wiki. Excuse me, must find it. The pizza. How do you pronounce it? I know it's like one of the dinner dumpling dishes they get like Japanese restaurants. Pizza gyoza. That's what it's called. Yeah, traditional Japanese dumpling recipe. So it's like, oh, of course they managed to mix pizza in with a traditional Japanese dish. I just thought that was funny. But yeah, 2 really great episodes. Also, I love how, like, when Splinter warns April, that is like, hey, being a ninja will be like the hardest thing you'll ever do. She's like, can't be any worse in high school, right? I burst out laughing. But yeah, anyways, as is the custom with these Turtle Tuesday episodes, I'm going to end this video by sharing fun facts about a particular turtle species. This time I'm going to talk about the Alligator Snapping Turtle, one of my personal favorites. You guys all know and love the Alligator Snapping Turtle. It's endemic to the southern United States, meaning like this only found in states like Florida, eastern Texas, and, you know, basically those southern states where you know, there's like year-round access to like rivers and lakes. The alligator snapping turtle will wait like very patiently, using its tongue as a lure to snatch by nearby fishes. And it can hold its breath for like 40 to 50 minutes, and it spends almost its entire life in water, excluding females coming onto, you know, the riverbanks to like lay their eggs and build their nests. These guys they're kind of like sea turtles of like the freshwater world, since they spend almost their entire life just submerged. I wanted to touch base on like the alligator snapping turtle in particular, because I was terrified of snapping turtles as a kid. I saw these guys in like zoos and aquariums and photos. I was like, no thanks. As a little kid, me was just like terrified of alligator snapping turtles. All these years later, like, I still would not want to be on the receiving end of those jaws, because they can bite 1,000 pounds per square inch, which, to put in perspective, is the same bite force of a spotted hyena, which is a species that's known to just straight up eat bones off carcasses. The chances of you being attacked by an alligator snapping turtle are very, very, very slim. Like, they're really not aggressive. I mean, the only time you really need to worry about them is if you step on their face by accident, if you're, like, waiting in a riverbank or at a river, but again, that's very unlikely. So nowadays I look at alligator snapping turtles, like there's one at the reptile house at the zoo, so I visit him quite a bit during my lunch breaks, and I'm just like, now they're so ugly, they're cute. So yeah, I guess that's my little Halloween special for the Turtle Tuesday series. I know we still got like another week to go for Halloween, just looked at my calendar really fast. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, hit the thumbs up like button, please, and subscribe to this channel. Let me know if this unconventional format for these episodes is working well for you guys or not. Just let me know in the comments, and yeah, have a good night. Stay beastly.